Welcome everyone, this is Holly with Holly's Ink and Stamp here, and I'm coming to you to show you the November planner layout that I created, and I really think you're going to love it. You can find me at my website, which you can see there, and if you ever have any questions about the projects that I'm making or want to place an order, right there is where you're going to want to go, and you can find how to contact me right there. Alright, let's pull in our planner. This is our Love Today planner, and we have been decorating our planner since I started it in July, and so we are in November already. I'm so excited to share with you this November layout, and we're going to go ahead and open this up and go to November. I actually put the divider there because this divider is nice because you can pop this out and you can put it wherever you want it to go. We are going to be using some of these little post-it notes on our layout, but we're going to pull out our papers here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out because we are going to be using some of those post-it notes. I will be doing these weekly views in a later video. Today we are just going to be working on our November layout. What we're going to do first is we are going to put the numbers in. We have a blank slate here, and what I like to do first is go ahead and get all of my numbers written in so then I can see what area is left that I get to decorate. So let's go ahead, and I'm using our Stampin' Right marker here. This is our black one. They're double-sided, so you have a fine point and you have a brush side. So I'm going to use the fine point side, and I know November starts on a Wednesday, so here we go. So there's 30 days in November. November is my favorite month of the year. I absolutely love Thanksgiving, and I know that Thanksgiving is the 23rd, but it's also my birthday month. I was actually born on Thanksgiving back in 1970, so Thanksgiving holds a really special place in my heart, and that is why it's just one of my most favorite months of the year. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at this and see where I can decorate. I can see we have empty boxes here. I see we have a couple here, this whole row here, this whole row here, obviously this column here, and then across the top. So we have actually quite a bit that we can decorate. So the stamp sets I've decided to use this month, there's two of them. We're going to be using some of Painted Harvest here. And this is a really cool stamp set. And the only thing I'm using out of this one, there's two actually. I'm going to be using the acorn here, and we're going to be using the words gather together and give thanks. Okay, I'm going to show you how to put that on Thanksgiving Day because I think that's appropriate. And then in our Colorful Seasons stamp set, we are actually going to be using these two stamps here, as well as the small leaf here. Okay. We are actually going to be using 4 different ink colors. We're going to be using Garden Green, Crushed Curry, Tangerine Tango, and Early Espresso. And what I want to start off with is our Crushed Curry. We are going to take this and grab one of my piercing mats here. Now the reason why we're using a piercing mat is because these stamps are photopolymer, and they're clear, so I can see right through them because I do have some 2-stamp stamping I have to do today. But what's nice about them is you're just going to place them right on your clear blocks and you can see right through them. But it doesn't have that extra cush that the clear stamps have, which the other stamps that are rubber stamps, we call them clear stamps because you put them on clear blocks. So we need something that gives it just a little cush so we get a good impression when we use the photopolymer. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Crushed Curry, and we're going to ink this up. Now, just like any time that I am stamping in our planner, I do want to stamp off once first, and then we're going to stamp right onto our paper here because we want a light image. All right, we're going to bring in our second piece, because we're going to be doing different color of leaves on these, and we're going to also do a yellow leaf, and we're going to do some green leaves, and we're going to pull down our Stampin' Scrub. Stampin' Scrub is awesome because you have a wet side and a dry side, so you can go ahead and just spray cleaner on it, wash that right off, dry it off on the other side, and it's good to go for the next image. This time we're going to be using the Garden Green. We're go ahead and ink that up. Stamp off once. And I want to bring my other paper back. And we're going to stamp right over here. Right there, looks good. It's fun to try to decide where you want to put them. All right, that's the only green leaf I'm doing down here. Okay, then we're going to bring in our Tangerine Tango, because at this time of year there's not many green leaves left. Now we're going to use our Tangerine Tango. Stamp off once. And we're going to stamp right up here. We're going to bring in Early Espresso, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to put the veins of the leaves in. This is where that two-step stamping comes in, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to ink that up once, twice. This time we're doing a third generation. You know what? I'm okay if it doesn't line up perfectly, okay? We're going to do it again. So this one you want to do a third generation. This is a really dark color here. 1, 2, and turn your paper to where you can get a good angle on it and make your impression. Okay, we're going to do the other 3 on the other page. I think it's looking good already. Now the little leaf. I wanted to put a few little leaves around, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use some of each of the colors here. And I'm okay that it did that little bit of, because it makes it look like a real leaf like that. I love it. Now, while I have these out, we're going to decorate the top. And this was my favorite part right here. What we're going to do, give myself a little room here. I'm going to turn this upside down. Okay, we're going to do some masking. You guys know how I love to mask. And then I'm going to start with yellow. Okay, we're going to start with the crushed curry. And we are randomly just going to stamp leaves. And we're going to do some of the Tangerine Tango. Hope you guys are seeing how beautiful this is. It's going to be like a collage of leaves. And then we're going to take the garden green and we're doing the same exact thing. Look how beautiful that looks. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I love that technique so much that we are going to continue it right along this other side as well. That is absolutely gorgeous. We are going to take 3 of these little post-it notes that have the roses on it. Okay, don't worry about them having roses on it, because I'm going to show you something really cool. So we're going to take 3 of these. We're going to take our leaf, and we're going to do one on each paper. Stamp it off once, and then go ahead and just stamp one color on each paper. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our little itty bitty acorn. We're going to take Early Espresso. So our acorn, there's a top and there's a bottom. It's really cool that I can make them look like they have 2 different colors. But we don't need to do that because we can use just one ink color. We can stamp off once, twice, and the third generation is going to go right here over the roses. Do the second generation. I'll just go back over this. Yeah, make it a little darker, okay? So second generation, 1, and then I'm going to do a second one over to the side. The reason why I'm stamping off a little bit is because I want to the top part of our acorns to be the darkest. So we're not going to stamp off on this one. We're just going to do full generation, and we're going to do that right on the top there. And it looks like we've used a different color. Okay. You can use one ink color and use different generations, and it will look like you've used 2 or 3 different inks. So we're going to set that to the side and bring this back in. Okay, we're going to bring in that stamp that says, "Gather together and give thanks." I want that to be stamped right here on the 23rd for Thanksgiving. So instead of trying to ink that up, I am going to grab the Early Espresso marker. Okay, it's right here. Again, these are double-sided. You have a brush side and you have a fine tip. And this time I'm going to be using the brush side. And all I'm going to color, and the reason why I don't want to try to use my ink pad is because this is too close together, okay? So all I'm going to do is use my marker and I'm going to color over it where it just says gather together. Okay. I'm going to get a good amount of ink on there. Try not to get it over on the other side that you don't want. Okay, so just go over it really well. This is another trick you can do. You don't always have to have the ink pads. And then I huff on it to keep that nice and moist. And then I'm going to put that right where I think it should go, right there. Okay, so we have the gather together. Now I'm going to clean this off using my Stampin' Scrub. We're going to come back and now we're going to color the other side. Gather together and give thanks. I think that is very appropriate for Thanksgiving. Okay, we're going to open up Early Espresso again and we're going to put a couple more acorns right there on Thanksgiving Day. What we're going to do now is go ahead and decorate this area here. This blank space here, blank space here, blank space here. Now I wanted this to be a little more blingy than normal, and we have some beautiful foil papers, and the one I'm going to be using tonight is copper foil. I thought that that just kind of really played in with the colors that we've used here for fall, and so we're going to pull that in. But what I've also done is I wanted to make them look like wood, because these leaves came off of trees, obviously, which are made of wood, and I really wanted to bring in that wood grain feature. So I did use one of our embossing texture folders here, and I cut our pieces down. It's a little more than 1 1/8 of an inch, okay? And they're just like 6 inches because I put them on bigger and then I cut them off. And I did 3 of them. And all you do is lay it in here, run it through your Big Shot, and wait till you see the results. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so we're going to actually put one here, put one here, and one right up here. I just think that adds a lot to this. I'm actually going to use some of our tear-in tape. Let me grab that. I just think that's going to hold this on a little better. Now we're simply going to take the backing off. And you know what I have found is the easiest? I like to take my, I call it my pokey tool, but my piercing tool, and pull, and it just helps you pull those backings off very quickly and easily. We're going to take our scissors, just give that a haircut or trim. We're almost finished, okay? Oh wow, that just adds so much to that. Now we have designer series paper that's called Harvest Autumn. I have used about all of this paper this season, and they have these beautiful, beautiful pumpkins right here. And what I did is went ahead and fussy cut 2 of those settings out. I absolutely love the white pumpkin. I think that's my favorite. I went ahead and fussy cut those out. I know that fussy cutting's not the most favorite thing, but when you have beautiful pumpkins like this that just really pull in with all the different colors we have there, we're going to use these to cover up those 2 spots there. Okay, they will overlap a little bit, and I just think that adds so much to our picture here. We're just going to use some Tombow, which is our liquid glue that we sell. Now this one, when I cut it out, happened to be right at the side of the paper, and I was okay to use that one because this one is going to go right over it. So you can really utilize the whole page when you kind of think about things like that. Ooh, will I be able to use that if I cut that out? Sure we can. We can absolutely use that on our projects. It's just all in how you place it. Okay, let's glue our other one on. Oh, that looks amazing. The last thing we need to do is go ahead and bring in our little post-it notes that we stamped the little acorns on, and I'm going to start down here at the bottom and just put one on there, and then I like to put the top one on. I just put it mesh right with the top here, and these fit perfectly in this column here, okay? And then bring your other one in. It will overlap just a little bit. And there you go. Look how beautiful we made this layout. And that didn't take long at all. We used 2 simple sets that had lots of great little leaves that we could use. We were able to use 2-step stamping to put the veins in the leaves there. We were able to cover up the little roses that were here by using the acorns and using a dark ink color there. And then we brought in the beautiful foil paper that we sell, and this happens to be our copper foil paper, which I think just brought everything together. And not only that, we were able to take a stamp that was all the way, it's a nice long stamp here. I taught you how to use that stamp, but to stamp it more one above the other. Gather together and give thanks. That is what November is known for. It is our month of thankfulness, and I am thankful for each and every one of you that are loving my planner series. Please share this with your friends, put it on your Facebook pages, let them know about this beautiful layouts that I have been creating, and I will be back real soon with a December layout that you're absolutely going to love. Don't forget, I will be uploading another video soon that will have how I decorated the weeks of November as well. Guys, thank you for stopping by. I can't wait to meet with you again. Have a great evening.